Let's move on to Wellington commuters who've been venting their frustration over what's being described as the biggest ever changes to the capital's bus network. There were new routes, new buses, new drivers, increased fares and changes to the timetables. And rush hour this morning was the first real test of the overall. How did it go? Well, Hamish Cardwell reports.
The changes came as Transit took over from the previous bus operator, NZ Bus. As well as timetable and route changes, new double-decker buses also hit the roads. Commuter Dion McKenna wasn't impressed with the new service.
Late for work already. There were no buses for like half an hour, even though it said 4 minutes on the clock, on the sign. So they're not doing too well so far on the number 1 route. That's probably maybe buses getting stuck in traffic or not enough drivers, who knows.
80-year-old Frances Cherry, who has Parkinson's disease, says she was forced to cling to a pole on a packed bus this morning. She left early, so she'd have plenty of time to get from her home in the southern suburb of Kilburnie to her hospital appointment at 11 o'clock. The bus turned up 30 minutes late and it was full.
So we got on and it was absolutely crowded, so I couldn't get a seat for the first time in years, so I had to hang on to a pole, and then I nearly fell over several times because, you know, when the bus swerved round corners.
A commuter from Kingston says there were delays, but at least there were seats on her route.
It took a long time for the bus to come. There was a lot of us waiting at the bus stop, but then we all actually fit on it for once, which was good, because often they drive fast in Kingston, but there was actually room on the double-decker.
Others had no qualms at all.
Went really well. I was a bit concerned there was no display up saying when the bus would come, but it's closer to home for me.
It was good, yep, still crowded, but good. Yeah, timely.
It's hard to say at this point because I've just joined the queue, but so far it seems okay. I'm a bit nervous though.
One Newtown commuter says today was nothing compared to the days leading up to the changeover. Up to 30 services a day were being cancelled in the past week as the previous contract came to an end.
There's definitely a lot of queues and lines. I think that was because people, they had less bus drivers because they were ending their contracts, but yeah, it was really busy all the time. I ended up walking most days. But yeah, no, hopefully it's better now.
The Wellington Regional Council, which contracts out the bus service, says there have been some complaints, but lots of positive feedback too. Councillor Darren Ponta says it was the biggest change to Wellington's bus network ever, and he's generally pleased with how things are going.
We were giving people cast iron guarantees that there would be issues. There have been issues. There have been issues, as you've described, with capacity, buses running late, buses bunching together, 1 or 2 instances where buses haven't turned up or the drivers turn left rather than right.
Mr Ponta says work is being done to sort out any issues, but it might take a few weeks. For Checkpoint, ko Hamish Cardwell, tēnei.